Okay, this is NC4XL, and this is going to be an awkward type of a video, but I want you to understand, I'm trying to make sure that when you hear me, you actually see the old man doing his talking, so it's not sounding a little funky. I don't do fancy editing. Very simply, what I'm going to do is show you what I use when I'm out on the park, what the definition of 2 is 1, 1 is none, and some of the little things that I take with me as a backup. So let's start out with, first of all, I'm running 2 batteries, the Biano, and I'm hoping I can pronounce it right, 15 amp hour batteries. I'm going to take and rotate the phone so that you're able to see it and see the box and everything. So I'm going to do that, then I'll come back and address where we're at. As you see down here, that's the battery. And I've got 2 of them. That's the box, and I have the Anderson poles on. All my radios have Anderson poles on. If you look at this, you'll see that I have the batteries dated when I purchased them. The first one was in April, and the second one was in November because I run out of battery power, and it's very embarrassing. I always carry a backup cable to run from the back of my transceiver to the box in case the other one goes bad. Okay, down here you see what a little nameplate. You can either print it out on paper. I have a label maker, so I print out the park number and the name of the park so that if the wind blows, it doesn't blow these as easily as it does paper. That's just something that I do. Everybody's different. That's a portable charger. Yes, this device has it set up for the phone where I could connect a USB connector to it, but I also carry this portable in case I need to walk with the phone or so forth, and it fits abruptly in the box. I'm going to show you something that I've learned to take with me now. Those are extra sinkers because I don't use an arbor. I don't throw it up by hand. I use a fishing pole, and you're always going to lose sinkers. It goes in the box. Of course, the park's on the air flag, which you see there. And as I say, there's several different cards for the parks that I've run. Myself, I've activated 23 of the parks in North Carolina. So what I've done now is taken and gone from the supplies inside that I wanted to share. I'm going to flip it back around and let you look at the box. The box is by Power Works. The box is overly priced, but something is better than nothing, and I wanted to make it safe. It's not as quality that I would like it structurally. Harder plastic for falling on the ground or whatever, but again, let's just take a look at it and some of the features that it offers us as activators. Okay, so I'm going to open it and flip the phone around and show you. Now what you're seeing there is you have your regular external 12 volts, you have your Anderson pole section allowing you to you can also run regular cigarette lighter adapter, and you also have the USB ports. Okay, if you wish to run a laptop or a phone or something off of it, you can. And then here, this battery that's connected to it right now is at 13.5 volts. I will take it home, I will top it off. That's just what I do. Again, it's open. If you're into the larger connectors, there's the larger, I think that's a 30 amp, but I don't use such an item. So that takes care of that. Now, back to our conversations that we talk about. There's a lot of questions about what all do you take, what all and why. Whenever we travel, not you on the other side, but whenever we travel, we're talking an hour to an hour and a half away from my location where I live at. So that means it takes some time getting back home if you forgot something. If you're going to set a box up, a go box, a go bag, whatever, Lay your items out for everything you need at an activation at your house. Lay it on the garage floor. Lay it on the living room floor. Put it on the wife's kitchen table or the husband's kitchen table, whatever. But lay your items out. Never assume that you got everything. As you've seen, I carried extra sinkers in the box because that's an item that's easily forgotten. If you go to a store, buy an extra, and you don't need them, buy them anyways so that you have them. Secondly, if you go to the Dollar General type store or one of those places where you can pick up notepads and stuff inexpensively, I don't care if you're doing a laptop, get you a couple extra notebooks and keep them with you with pens or pencils at work. Don't get the 10-cent pencils that the lead breaks every time. Get the old-fashioned pencil that you have to do with a pencil sharpener. That'll last much longer, or use ink pens like I do. And the 10-cent pens don't last but 10 minutes. Keep that in mind. When you go out with 2 batteries, you're more apt to not need them. But if you go out with 1 battery, you're going to have an awesome day, and you're going to need it and wish you had it. So that's where my philosophy is simply 2 is 1, 1 is none. Simple as that. I don't have 2 batteries. I'm going to have an awesome day and not be able to handle it, and I don't want that to happen to you. For those of you that don't want to spend the money on bianos, they are expensive. They're not cheap. You get what you pay for, regardless of whichever battery you purchase. Miati, I think that's how you pronounce it, or other brands that are out there. Make sure you have an OEM charger for that specific battery. Yes, I'm OCD, but I want that item that's going to work for and designed for that battery that I'm using. Because when I charge it, I don't want any room for possible errors, and trying to save $1 here or there is going to cost me later down the road. If you're going to spend money and enjoy your hobby, don't be cheap. Cheap is going to get you in a lot of bad spots at the end of the day, and you're not going to have a way of fixing it, so that you get frustrated and you cop an attitude, and all of us do it. I've done it even with things going right. I carry 2 radios when I'm out. I carry out more antennas than I need to, but the point is I don't want to drive that far and not have what I need. And I don't want you to drive that far and not have at least practiced your setup. I use a fishing pole. I take 3 ounces of weight. 3 ounces is what I use. I want it to go up. That's not a problem. It's got to come down. So that 3 ounces of weight that I'm seeking is to get the line back down. Now let's save you some money on the paracord. If you go to Dollar General or the Dollar Tree type stores, we have found the paracord in 50-foot runs for $1 on a winder, and that's what I use. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see that that's simple. $4. I got 4 winders. I got 200 feet of paracord. I'm good to go. What do you use? Everything I do is not for you. It's what you choose to do. But this is what a question come up. What do you use? And that's why I did the video. The battery box is overly priced, but it's what I want. I'm lazy, and I may do. I accepted the fact that it's not exactly what I wanted, but I'm satisfied. The batteries that are in it, they're the most expensive in my opinion, but I wanted it right, and I got the OEM of a charger. And when I charge them, when I come back from an activation, I put them on the charger. Don't ever assume that you'll get to it tomorrow, because tomorrows don't come. Now, I'll share a story so that you understand. I went out one activation. The next day I went to another activation. I did not charge the batteries. I figured I'd run off with the car. I ain't going to be that long. Short and story. I drained my car battery. Oh, by the way, I did have to replace it. It was 3 years old and it was under warranty and it covered it. But the point is, I still ran off with the car battery, and my 1.5 to 2 hour run draining my car battery caused me to get jumped by somebody else in the rain. So Those are things that you'll learn. NC4XL, North Carolina for Extreme Lovers. This is a quick little burst of information on what I use for battery setup and other couple little things in between. Don't have to use what I use, but whatever you use, practice with it. Take it out, set it up, take it down, put it away, pick it up, take it out, set it up again. When you know you've got it right, you don't have to write a checklist on paper to make sure you didn't forget something, because inadvertently you're going to forget something, or Murphy's Law is going to come out there, and if you don't have a little extra to cover yourself, you'll go home frustrated. Remember, we don't have bad days out there. We have days we have to make lemonade. So take that lemon, if you're given a lemon, and make it work for you. 73's NC4XL. North Carolina for Extreme Lovers. Just a darling, oh man. Chat later.